Stephen Howson, Full-Time Devils, post-match Sunderland 2, Manchester United 1. I'd like to talk about the game, but I'm not going to be able to talk about the game because everybody just wants to talk about the manager. And I don't really see there's much ability to defend the manager at the moment. We went through a horrific patch in December. Some of that could have been excused. We didn't sack him in December, and he was allowed to carry on. I think he's been allowed to carry on now till the end of the season. I'm not sure, unless you have another December, that he'll actually be sacked by the board. But you can't defend this. Last week you could have defended getting a point away, despite the circumstances at Stamford Bridge, isn't a bad result. Today's a bad result. And when the whole of the top four is as topsy-turvy as it is, and the opportunities have been given to us on a plate so many times this season, to not take advantage of that is inexcusable. And I don't see us getting into the top four now. And everyone's going, we just have to win the Europa League. Like we can just do that. All we had to do today was turn up at Sunderland and win. If you look at the sides that's left in the Europa League, there's some horrific sides. We might not even get past Midtjylland with the Moneyball thing that's going on around Midtjylland. We're going to struggle to get past them. That game away next week, that's going to be a tough game for us. So saying things like, let's just win the Europa League, like, oh, okay, let's just win every game to the end of the Premier League season, and then we'll be fine as well. It's unrealistic. The Europa League Thursday night thing, it messes with players somehow. You see, every team that goes far in the Europa League ends up having horrific league form. The league forms are going to end up getting him sacked anyway, I think, despite whatever he does in the Europa League. Moyes was sacked for failing to get Champions League football, and he was sacked the day that became mathematically impossible. As I've said a couple of times, I believe Louis van Gaal handed his resignation in the other week. Now, I know that the reports are to the contrary, but that is my belief, and there's several reasons for that. And if a man has handed his resignation in, that's him admitting that he cannot do the job, and it is the wrong decision for a man who doesn't back himself to be backed. So I can no longer back a guy that's handed his resignation in, and the board should not back a man that no longer has the faith in himself to keep going on. The issues surrounding the club at the moment are really coming to the fore because of this poor form. And finally, people are waking up to the cancer that is the Glazers at this club. But it's took 10.5 years for this to happen. The reason that we went on all those protest marches in 2004, in 2005, was because we could see this coming. The genius of Sir Alex kept us competitive with no budget. The club have allowed a bit of budget in the transfer market of late, but it was too little too late. Teams take a long time to bed in, and that can be the excuse in some parts for managers who can't quite get it right because teams take a while to come together and mesh together. Whoever inherits this team, be that Jose Mourinho or somebody else, is also going to struggle a little bit at first. Now, Van Gaal could help himself, or could have helped himself by doing different things in different areas. Whoever gets this team is not just going to instantly win every single match. There's going to be issues going forward, but in 2-3 years' time, the nucleus of this team is going to form an excellent side for us if we can keep them together. The likes of Schneiderlin, Smalling, Martial, and even Memphis. Memphis getting a hell of a lot of stick. If you're giving Memphis stick now, and you gave David De Gea stick early in his career, just have a little bit of patience. It's not the easiest job in the world, is it, being a Premier League footballer moving to another country? Look how long it took De Gea. There's obvious talent in Memphis that's obviously not working at the moment. That doesn't mean hammer him. You've got to be patient with a player so young. So, lots of problems on at the moment with United. I don't see how the board can stay with Van Gaal after this, but I don't think they'll sack him because I think the succession plan is in place. I'm very, very sure that Mourinho's coming in the summer, and I think there could be a couple of reasons for that. Someone either messaged me or commented on one of the videos saying that they think whatever happens this season will be allowed to happen and then the board will use the announcement of Mourinho to pick probably the share price and other things back up after the disappointment of the season. Because if we sack Van Gaal on Monday morning and we announce Mourinho as the new manager, and Mourinho comes in and doesn't get top 4, then there's no lift in the summer, is there? So I think whoever said that, it's pretty astute. Might not happen, but I think there's good reasoning behind it. I think we will probably allow Van Gaal to see out the end of the season, which, if he did offer his resignation, I don't understand why you would do that. And then Mourinho is going to be coming in. But that's about it. There's no point talking about the game, is there? No one cares. So I'm not going to. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you in a bit.